This is day 676 of Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. This week's Arukh HaShulchan Yomi is sponsored by Nishmas Chana Feigo, Baslai Bishmer, and Yenta, whose yahrzeit is this week. Min Shoma have an aliyah. I'd like to sponsor a coming shir more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. Please contact me directly. Be greatly appreciated. Today we are doing Siman Tough Test Yud Gimel to Tough Yud Dalit. By backdrop, I'm back in my normal location, so to speak. Okay, so preferably when you make a shliach social lech b'arev inside Mizrach, go make an erev for me. You're supposed to say to him, go make an erev for me for the east, or to the west, as you desire. If you tell him just go make an erev, how does shliach know which direction you want to make an erev? Stam. If there's one person or many people who told a shliach go and make an erev without specifying, they made an erev to one of the directions. If erev was valid, meaning the kachli daitom, we say that this is their das. The shalez tzad shiarev, whatever tzad he chooses, the shliach chooses to make the eruv. Nichalu, they're agreeable with that. And then it's going to clarify later on to which side the eruv took effect. But overall, and became clarified retroactively. That this is the side which they indeed desire. The kind of we hold yesh b'rabbanon. We hold that things be retroactively clarified rabbinic halachas, and tchumen is a rabbinic halacha. Mishnah Berurah says that, however, the shliach knows that the Ratzon Shliach was to go to a certain direction, even if he didn't say explicitly. That doesn't work to make an erev in the other direction, even though the mishalech now changes his mind and wants to go the other direction. Interesting. Okay. If they told him explicitly, make an erev to the east. If he made an erev to the other and another side, they ain't erev without erev. Even the quality of the erev itself, if the shliach was mishana, it's not a valid erev. How's it meaning? Such as he said, make an erev for me with dates. He made an erev with him for figs, or vice versa. He said, put my erev in a large box. He put it in a dovecot, or vice versa. But Bais said, put it in a house, he put it in the second floor. Or vice versa. It's not an erev. I feel even the erev. Shliach used his own food for that purpose. I will imam ma'arei he said just generically make an erev for me. Real love, and he made an erev ben begrogos ben morim. Whether he made he used figs or dates ben mushabach ben midah, whether it was a dovecot or in a large box ben bais ben aliyah, whether it was in the house or the second floor. Eruv erev, there was about erev. I feel erev mishal marvin, and even if he was erev, of course, the people who direct him to make the erev. Somebody's coming on along the road. He sees a tree or a fence at a distance. And he can recognize them. And they're 2,000 amos away from where he's standing now. And his face not going to be able to get Lasham there, at the time Ben Hashmashos was Makniyas Eruv, which is the time when Eruv takes effect. He says, Shama Makam, Shushvi Sasi, there in that place will be my Shvisa. I'm sorry, Shama Makam Shu says where he's standing right now. Shisasi Teita Tachas Elon Ploinim, I want my Shvisa, my Makam Shvisa to be underneath that tree, Bikoro, at its where it comes out of the ground, Tachas get a plani, underneath the fence, Mitzam Bizracha, the east, Chadayim et Seder Shasim, Makam, when he specified the place, B'kana Shvisa, B'sham, you were kind of shvisa in that place, which is up to 2,000 amos away from where you are now. And they have 2,000 amos in directions. There's also a leniency that they were lenient by erev. And we come to levels, but it's got to be that at some pace of walking you can reach there bein hashmoshes. And Yoretz Mo, such as he runs very quickly. Even though if you walk at a normal pace, won't get there during Ben Hashmoshos, we don't care. For Ryan also Kilo look as if he's standing in a new place during Ben Hashmoshos. There's no way you can get there during Ben Hashmoshos. Ain't there, it's not about Erev. She's talking acquire Shvisa there. We can't get there in time to be Kona the Shvisa. I'm talking about where he's Kona Shvisa Baraglov. Now he ain't Erev, but he has to be able to get there. You can get there, it's a Migo. You could have gotten there, but you can't get there, it's no Migo. Or maybe it'll be like Bill Makeva's boat. In this case, I wouldn't acquire Shvisa at all. He only has 4 hamas. Mokom Shah Ben Hashmoshos, the place he is during Ben Hashmoshos. Shai Mikan Okar. She saw so Shalom Lakona because he uprooted his Shvisa finger. They wouldn't acquire there. And of course, Lo Dami Lemishi Yashu base. So it's not like somebody sitting at home. Dim Lo Kana Erev. If the Erev is not effective, still Yesh Lo Kum base. So he says Kum of his own house. Like he wrote said previously. Bialocha says it sounds like when he made the statement Arab Shabbos, he had to be within 2,000 amos of the base of the tree. But if you were 2,000, if he was more than 2,000 amos to the base of the tree, even at the time you made the statement, even at the time that Shabbos begins, you are within 2,000 amos of the tree. No good, right? And even and that's the case. Even if you were able to run from the time you made the statement and get to the base of the tree before nightfall, no good. But the language of Rama is masha that even at the time you said it was more than 2,000 amos to the base of the tree. Since at the time Shabbos begins, you're within 2,000 amos of the base, and also if you ran, you could get there with the time. And besides that, if you had started running at the time you made the statement, you would have gotten there during Ben Hashmoshos, then that Amira is effective. The time in Amira, you're more than 2,000 amos away. As long as when Shabbos begins, you're less than 2,000 amos away of that tree. Shulchan says you have to get to the place to be by yoim, by running. Obviously, the Bialocha right said if you get to Ben Hashmoshos, it works at least with the Evid. It could be based on some questions based on something else, which we're not going to get into right now. Next one is the Mishnah says that once you identify the tree, you don't have to get there, and you could get there before the Ben Hashmoshos, so you don't have to actually go there. Just stand and stay where you are. Since you could get there by running before Shabbos begins, at least by Ben Hashmoshos, your statement is effective to Yikon Shvisa under that tree, even though you're not going to there right now. Tesvav, v'gam zeh ukshasiyah makol shvisas b'kork moshkasavim. He has to define a precise place for Shvisa, right? Such as at the base of the tree, as wrote. Sorry, Melosiyah makom shvisas. He didn't specify the precise spot of the place where he's going to be in Shvisa. Just generically, kind of ambiguously, under the tree, under the fence. And it's part, not the entire tree, not the entire fence, are within 2,000 amos of him. Some it extends beyond his 2,000 amos. No kind of shvisa. You don't acquire shvisa. The shema kivin al makom shu chutz. Maybe your intent was for the place which is beyond 2,000 amos. Therefore, you can't move from where he is. He only has 4 amos, as he wrote. You call him go there. However, the entire tree and the entire fence within 2,000, so he didn't designate a specific place along the tree or along the fence. That is place that should be his shvisa. Yesh lo paim arba loving makom mikomo l'tzadi ilma goder. He has 4,000 from his place to the place where the tree is and where the fence is. You're not going to say meshav halana goder, deducting from again 2,000 amos from where he was to the tree designated, and 2,000 is beyond that. But you have to deduct from this the place of the tree and the fence. Such as if he has, they were 20 amos in their extent, and he didn't point a point along those fences, along that tree. He has 4,000 minus 20. So fake, so where along the line he had in mind to acquire shvisa. Maybe he had in mind to get the shvisa at the beginning of the tree or the fence. So the tchum at a stream pachos, so the tchum would be 20 less amos. Mishabur writes not specifically 2,000, but even if from the place where he is to the base of the tree is 2004. So Mishabur brings up perennially. You're kind of shvisa because again 4 amos besides the 2,000 amos. Mishabur also writes. Is this later on? Yeah, later on. Test sign. The Rambam the Rambam has a different opinion. The Akoin Shvisa B'Yikuk Makam, a person who acquires Shvisa at a distance. The low we see in Makam Shvisa, they didn't specify the place of the Shvisa. I feel Kulan Toch Apayim, even though all in this 2,000 amos. Low Kon Shvisa, Shomim acquires Shvisa there. El B'Makam Shia, Oime Bon Benash Moshe, brother, or the place where he's standing, Ben Benash Moshe ensues. The Chen Zayt of Mash Shvisa, Makam Play, Vu Rachok. Those Makam is Apayim, that's also, you said, my Shvisa in certain places, it's more than 2,000 amos away. Kind of shvisa and komo, you acquired shvisa in your place. You don't say you gave up on shvisa in your place. You don't get shvisa over there, like you said before. But it's just like Moshe and Yeshua. It's like you sit at home. As I sit at home, you never lose the 2,000 amos that you have. So today, you don't lose the 2,000 amos from where you are now, even though you tried to acquire another 2,000 amos at a distance. Yudzayin. Elon, plenty. If I say my shvisa will be on the certain tree, yesh tachtav shmona amos, if the 8 amos on the tree, lo kana shvisa. You acquire shvisa going to the Rambam, mishum lo yedin leish arba amos kiva. You don't know if 4 amos you had in mind. Apostle if it's less than 8 amos diameter, iko am tzoyis, there's a middle amma, shmanav shel shvisa sabo. No matter which way you look at that, since that place where they both overlap, for sure that was makom shvisa. And it's partially recognizable. The corner that's sufficient to make the area effective. Feel therefore b'chaygam mitzvot chavim knos shvisa b'ikora o ba'arba amash b'tzfona o b'drom u'cheretz b'zeh. So in a case where obviously it's more than that, you have to have in mind specific place under the tree, north or south, etc. Chen das a rif, so it's supposed to be in the rif. Yushnayim malachim b'derech, two people walking down the road, v'echad makir makom shvisa, one can see, as good eyesight, you can see a makom shvisa in the distance, and the other one cannot see it. Zesheno makir, the one who cannot see it, most of shvisa, so he bestows the authority of acquiring shvisa for a lamakir to his acquaintance. Klamar shesmech alav, he relies upon him. Makirom, and the person who can see that at the distance says shvisa say to makom ploni, our shvisa is at that place. Kula zelamash yisotzi makom ploni, below pas. This, however, to say that a person can be lenient to say that my shvisa is over there without using a bread, without actually standing there. Lokil album and baba there. It's only a kula for somebody who's coming on the road. Avalon mishisha base is not kula for somebody who's sitting at home. Yosha bayis, somebody sitting at home. Base oyelech v'yeshem ben hashmashos. Welcome should say he knows a shvisa. Either he has to go to the place he wants to acquire shvisa and stay there ben hashmashos, or yishlach pas sham or send a piece of bread to there. Kamoshi's bar as has become clarified. Mr. Berman and then Robert that the primary opinion here is the first opinion that if, as long as the entire tree or the entire fence is within the 2,000 amos, you get you do acquire makom shvisa, even if it's specified where along the fence or under the tree. And Bialacha writes not necessarily. And should be you should make sure to define a specific makom shvisa like the Rambam. The Mishnah says if you're relying on a partner, you have to say shvisa imach, my shvisa is with you. The writes even if he has a bread, the traveler has bread in his hand. It's enough that he says shvisa my shvisa to that place. Since he left the city without the intent to make an eruv. Therefore, I guess he doesn't have to make the eruv. I'm not sure. I see. Even if he has bread, we still give him this leniency. That's what Mishabur is saying. Rashi says, no, we only give leniency if he's lacking 2 things. He's coming on the road and he doesn't have bread. But Mishabur says, even if he does have bread, we still allow him to, the person, the traveler, to point at a distance and say, that's where my shvisa is going to be. Tough Yud. Din hachzi, but there is no shvisa. Somebody who's on the road and now needs to acquire shvisa. Aleph zesh is sof siman that which is clarified at the end of the previous siman. the Rak Lamisha, who the only person who's on the road, he tilo the Shvisa, Berichuk Makam, land requires Shvisa at a distance. Kagon Lamar, Shvisa, Makam, to say my Shvisa is such a place. The low little shea basin, not for somebody sitting at home. Milafam, nevertheless, Shagam Yosha Basin, Dino Kilu, Baba Derek. So even somebody who's at home, it's as if he's traveling. Gomisha have a basis, such somebody's at home. But it's knows she's such a Makam plenty, wants to require Shvisa in a certain place. Well, Lasham, La Gila Makam Ploni. And he went to there to get to that place and say she saw Simakom and say, my Shvisa is going to be there. He started walking. But his friend met him at the beginning of his walk. He says, it's too hot for the walk. It's too cold for the walk. Go back home. He himself went back home because of the cold, hot heat of the cold. For some other reason, he didn't get all the way out to that place. Dino calls, but there is like somebody who's on the road. She saw someone complaining and said, my Shvisa is in that place, which I never reached. Because the basic goes back home, to sleep. Next day is 2,000 amos in every direction in front of the police of Shvisa that he designated. Because you came into Gamar Libo Likba Sham Shvisa, so since he decided that should be Shvisa, and he was on the road to get there. It's as if he's standing there or put his Eruv there. So writes, if he totally changed his mind, so then certainly whatever he accomplished is undone. It's just already he's like people of the city. Base, you know, but that's the that which wrote. Shemashi says in my place to say my Shvisa is so such a place. That's why it's been a Rashi. Have a diva around Berg Zain. Shor Steve Hal means but air. So the answer to my clash was in my place. You don't have to say that. Don't verbalize it. Came the Gomer Libo Leilach no Shvisa since you decided internally to go there and acquire Shvisa. Basically, like you start walking. Have a kohemet b'sham as if you're standing there, mamish. And so come here, and they're standing there, mamish. Don't need to make a statement. But two of each day, they also Shan Tur both brings both opinions. Rashi pasuk Karashi b'chai gavna sheno makom. Rashi pasuk said when you're not in the right place, Amir Makir, the statement is impediment. Avram B'Yelega so brings on ain't so Amir. The Ram disagrees. The Ram says, everybody requires Shvisa at a different distance. Ain't sorry, he doesn't say my Shvisa in such and such place. Okay, but once he determined internally, he started walking. There, Shame Shvisa, he acquires the Chales Shame Shvisa in that place. Goes without saying somebody who actually went out physically. Shvisa stands in the place where he wants to acquire Shvisa. She'ain Sochel Marklum doesn't have to say anything. Since you made a definite determination in your heart, that's the Kona Akal Lashona, end quote. Peter Sochel Mar Mashkasav Shom Barosh Perek. So I say what that which Rambam wrote in Perek Mishiyatz Be'erev Shabbos Chuli. V'oimer she says in Malcolm said he said my Shvisa in such and such a place. Akal Lashona or in the Mitzvah. It's not that you have to do it. Just that's the normal way it's done. Oshalo Lach Mi Beis Amnas Kain, or perhaps you can leave your house. And then 10. Shvisa, rather, in the middle of your travel, you decide to go there. Shvisa, then you actually need a verbalization. The Mishnah sounds like he holds like the other post can argue the Rambam and hold that if he was not Machsi Baderech, I guess he's not Mazer, but he went out to do Erev and didn't go far enough. It's not considered like his Baba Derech. It's like he's sitting at home, where there's no Erev with his Amira itself. Anyway, whatever he means, since it's the Rabbanon Erev, you can remake him. Kimo Kasar Rabbeinu says to Sophus Yivav. Amed Varim Wemez is true, Bani Shema Chichon So Niach Erev. Why do we don't require to put down Erev? Over Yichuk a distance. Going to Baba Derech is coming on the road. If it's not poor and he's not too distant, low. Don't rely on his statement at a distance. That's language of Rambam. I'm astounded. It said, but it sounds like for Ani they're allowed to say, my Shvisa is in such a place, even to not start walking there. Nisha Rambam so became perhaps the Rambam was away. The loyalty was Eliosha would say so. So explicitly, it doesn't work for somebody sitting at home. It doesn't distinguish between somebody who's poor and somebody who's rich. This, in fact, is the opinion of the Torah. Also Rashba, he came to him. He says if Sham Sasaka Rashba Batur Kankadasa Rambam. There he says like the Rashba on the tour, but here he seems to say like the Rambam. Um, uh, yeah, Tzarchim. Not sure what to do with it. There should be a law that some posts can hold that even a poor person would not make a say Shvisas when he was in his house, unless he was Machzik B'derech, and the Paskins that way. According to them, anytime he's at home, he's never considered an Oni. Because it's not prevalent to have an Oni, you shouldn't have the money for 2 meals. So at home, and that's, I guess, the definition of an Oni or not Oni at home. Therefore, Rabbanan never allowed even for an Oni to stay at home and say Shvisas Mokaploni. Only you have to be Machzik B'derech. Now, if that's why I couldn't Shvisas Mokum Zeh Shvisas B'derech, we said it's only if you start walking. Lo shitz min here. It's not that he left the city. He went in the fields. Even just left your second floor. Left go to that place. And before he came to the opening of the yard, a friend made you go back. It's called Hichsi B'derech. B'kana Shvisa, you acquired the Shvisa. Call Kana Shvisa B'richuk Makom Enter L'Mashvasi Makom Ploni. El Kemish Gamar Belibo. Can Shul Shita anybody's Kana Shvisa at a distance? Does something my Shvisa is in such and such place. El Kemish Gamar Belibo, once he decided, and he started walking. Koshu. That no matter how little Kana Sham Shvisa acquires the Shvisa there. Goes without saying somebody who actually went out and stood him in that place. So he's called Shvisa. That case, doesn't say anything. Was he said already several times? Since you could decide definitively, that's enough. We mentioned the Rashi argue I yin sham. He says the brackets of Maki Ilon go there. Somebody who's coming to set a place because he recognizes a tree or a fence. Everybody agrees needs to make a verbalization. Which says some say that civilly somebody has 2 houses and 2 Tchumei Shabbos. That there we say that even if his friend made it go back, nevertheless he had a mind to become a shvisa in order to go to that other house. But otherwise, we don't say that because we say he didn't have anywhere to go. So probably just changed his mind, as he said explicitly. My shvisa should be in such a place, and it was Machzik B'derech as well. Doesn't seem that Arukh HaShulchan would agree to that in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't seem like it would be necessary.